there, I'm Snow White. Today, I decided I wanted to help you fall asleep. So, I wanted to tell you my story. So, it all begins. Long ago, my mother was sewing, and she pricked her finger, just like my friend, Sleeping Beauty. Well, she pricked her finger, and she saw the blood. But it made her think, when she has a baby, she wants it to have lips as red as the rose, skin as white as the snow outside, and hair as black as the window sill. And so her wish came true, and she had a baby just like that. But later, she died. And so the king was all in charge of the baby. And he had to take care of her. And when she grew older, he decided he should remarry. And he met this very pretty lady, and they ended up getting married. And she took me to apple festivals a lot, and I loved going to them. And we always went to the apple festivals. So, and I also had a huge palace, and when I was little, I loved to run around it. And my dad, he fighted in the army. And one day he never came home, which was very sad. So then my stepmother ended up ruling over the whole land. So she did. And then she had this new mirror that I never knew about. But she always stood by it, which I kind of thought that was kind of strange. But I let that go for no reason. And I still loved all my animal friends by the wishing well. So, then, as I started getting older, she said I started getting prettier. So she made me wear rags. I had to wear rags. So then she would be prettier, because she wanted to be the fairest of them all. But then she started making me work as a scullery maid. And I was fine. I mean, I kind of missed my father and my mother. But I always sang a song that would always make me feel better. It was, I'm wishing for the one I love to find me today. And I sang that in my wishing well. And then one day, my prince showed up, but that's for later. So, the queen said into the mirror that she had that I talked about, she would say, magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? The mirror would always answer, you are the fairest of them all. But one day, she said, magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Then he said, the beauty, your majesty. But hold, a lovely maid I see. Rags cannot hide her gentle grace. And it turned out that maid was me. And I didn't really know. But I was still by the well, and I was singing, and doves came, and then my prince came, and he frightened me. So I ran into the palace, I stood on the deck and watched him, and he sang to me. And I sent a dove over to kiss him. And then I had to say bye, because it's the queen. But then it turns out, I heard a noise, but I didn't know. So I went back to my work. And it turned out the queen sent a huntsman to kill me in the forest. But I still went in the morning to pick flowers while I sang the song the prince sang to me. One song, I have but one song only for you. I still remember that song. So he sent me out, and I saw a little bird. He looked very hurt. So I picked him up, and I told him, it's going to be okay. We're going to find your mother and papa. Then I saw them, and I sent the bird off, and he was fine. And then I turned around, and the huntsman had a knife and was about to stab me. But then I got frightened, and he said, oh no, I won't. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And then he said, run into the forest so the queen doesn't kill you. So I ran and there was monsters and it was very scary. But then, as I started getting up and I fell to the floor. Wait, getting up? No, I fell to the floor. And as I fell to the floor, all the animals started coming out. And they all looked very happy. So I wanted to make myself feel better too. And so I sang a song to them. And the song was, with a smile and a song, all the world seems to waken anew, rejoicing with you. So yeah. And so I kept singing the song, and then I felt very happy. And then they said they knew where I could stay. They knew where I could stay. So I went with them, and they showed me a little cottage. And I looked inside, and it was very dusty, dirty. The window was covered in dust, and it was very dark. And then I knocked on the door. Nobody was home. So I walked inside, and all the animals came. And then I saw a chair, and I was like, what a cute little chair. And then all the animals ran away. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. And then it was very dusty, so I made all the animals help me clean it up. Because I thought they were all children. So we cleaned it, and I sang a song like, whistle while you work. I forgot how to whistle. And cheerfully together we can tidy up the place. Just hum a merry tune. So I sang that, and then I decided we would look upstairs. When we went upstairs, there were 7 dwarfs' beds. There was Doc, Dopey, Happy, Sleepy, Sneezy, and don't forget Grumpy. Okay, so then I decided I was very tired, so I went to bed. So as that was happening, the dwarfs were all mining. They were like, hi-ho, hi-ho. And they were very silly while they're mining, of course. Then when they came home, they looked around and they were like, it's very clean. What happened? Then they sent Dopey upstairs. He was very scared, but he looked and he thought I was a monster. So he ran outside and told all the dwarfs. And then they went upstairs. And they revealed I was a young girl. And then they wouldn't let me stay unless I cooked and cleaned. So I said, okay, I will. And I told them about the queen. And they were like, oh no, you can stay. Then I cleaned. And then, as this was happening, the queen, she said, mirror, mirror on the wall, magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? They said, Snow White, she lives in the cottage. She's like, oh, no. The huntsman brought me a heart to show that I wasn't. And he's like, no, that's a pig's heart. And she ran to her fortress to make a poison apple. And then, later, me and the dwarfs all sang and danced after we ate. We sang and danced, and they were like, if you sing a silly song that anyone can sing. And then they're like, well, you should do something too. And I was like, what shall I do? And they're like, tell us a story, a love story, a true story. So I sang them, someday my prince will come, someday we'll meet again, and away to his castle we'll go, and to be happy forever I know. Someday when spring is here, we'll find our love anew, and the birds will sing, and wedding bells will ring, someday when my dreams come true. Then we went off to bed, and in the morning, the dwarfs had to go mining. And the dwarfs, by the way, they fight over this one pillow, and I prayed that Grumpy would like me that night. But it was the morning. And I all sent them off to mine, and they were all worrying me that the queen could be here when I was gone. But I was like, oh, it's okay. And as that was happening, the queen was making the apple to poison me. She also made this evil disguise so that I wouldn't know it was her. Okay, but then I walked back inside, and I made pies for Grumpy. And I sang my songs, someday my prince will come, someday we'll meet again, blah, blah, blah. And as I was singing, I was making a pie. And then I looked out my window, and I saw this young lady who looked like she needed help. And she said, "Can you get me some water?" And I got her some water, and then all the animals attacked her. And I was like, "No, don't do that. Shame on you." But then, turns out, she gave me an apple. And I was like, "Oh, no, it's okay." She's like, "It's a wishing apple. Is it someone you love?" And I was like, "Oh, well, there is someone." And then I took a bite, and I fell. I hit my head. Well, I fell, and all the animals went to go warn the dwarves, and they're like, "Oh, the princess, Snow White!" And they chased down the old hag, and they chased her up a hill, and she was about to knock her off, but lightning came, and she fell. So, I was laying dead. Well, not dead, in a coma. But then they put me in a glass coffin, so they could see me, because they thought I was really pretty. So, then, later that day, the prince, he was wandering, and he started singing one song. Then he came and he kissed me. And then I woke up, and we lived happily ever after. And I said goodbye to all the dwarves, and we moved into a castle. We lived happily ever after. Oh, good night. Oh, you look like sleepy right now. Okay. Well, I hope you have pleasant dreams, and hope you are wishing her well every day, okay?